When Ruben Amorim walked into Old Trafford, he brought with him a very specific vision of how football should be played. One that relied on athletes, on total commitment as a collective, and yeah, United didn't have that last season. We finished 15th. Amorim needed new faces. Now, the arrivals of Mbeumo Cunha and Mbeumo should serve as missing pieces of Amorim's puzzle. What makes these two signings right for United? Why are they exactly what Amorim's system has been crying out for? And how will they help transform the way United play? I'll break down everything for you in this video. So let's get into it. Now, when it comes to Amorim's system, right, you look at how it worked at Sporting, you look at how it's worked in his career, and it really does rely on that collective, as I said. And the two number 10 positions in particular, if you're looking at the key positions in Amorim's system, you're probably looking at the wing-backs, but you're also looking at the number 10s. And the number 10 role requires a very specific profile of player that United have been missing. The two number 10 roles in Amorim's system are crucial to get right. As I said, these players must be able to carry the ball over long distances, beat defenders one-on-one, and without this ability, the attack gets blunted. We saw that last season. It's a huge part of why United struggled under Amorim. Bruno, despite his qualities, he's not suited to that number 10 role, really, in Amorim's setup. He lacks the pace and dribbling ability to drive at defenders. He's more of a creator. Cunha and Mbeumo, however, they're tailor-made for exactly what Amorim needs. And if you looked at United last season and you were looking for individual brilliance, you kind of saw the opposite. So many individual mistakes from United. There wasn't really anybody who was driving with quality, with the ball and without it. We didn't have enough quality. And in fact, United were one of the worst teams last season for creating chances through individual skill. The numbers from last season make for grim reading. When it comes to take-ons that led to shots, United ranked a shocking 18th out of 20th with just 38 all season. To put that in perspective, Liverpool had 82. In Amorim's final season at Sporting, they managed 71, nearly double United's tally last season. And that's where Cunha and Mbeumo come in straight away. Cunha individually managed 19 take-ons leading to shots. That's third amongst all attackers in the league, despite playing fewer minutes than most. And half of what United achieved as an entire team. And Mbeumo managed 11 on his own, enough to rank him as 14th. Now combine those two numbers, and they aren't far off United's entire output. And there really is one area where I've been going on about it. Ball carrying. And Cunha and Mbeumo absolutely are excellent at that. And it's going to be a key reason as to why both of them individually and collectively are going to add so much into those number 10 roles. Ball progression really has been another major weakness for United, and it's an area where both of these signings excel. Cunha finished second in the Premier League for carries into the final third with 95, and Mbeumo wasn't far behind in 7th place with 69. At Sporting, Amorim had 3 different players playing in those crucial number 10 roles in the top 20 for progressive carries in the league. It shows you exactly what he values and why these signings make perfect sense. Now compare that to United last season, who managed to get just one player, Garnacho, into the top 20 for that metric. Good numbers from Garnacho, but as we all know, carrying the ball wasn't the issue. It was what he decided to do when he got on the end of his run. And that's the next point. Ball carrying, that's one part of it. But what you actually do at the end of that, whether it's a shot, whether it's a pass, wherever it is, it's creating something. That's where United massively fell short as well. And both Cunha and Mbeumo are players who like to dribble with their head and their eyes up. Creating chances for teammates is where the difference becomes more stark between United's forwards last season and our new signings. Mbeumo ranked 4th for the entire league for open play passes leading to shots with 98. Cunha managed 75, putting him 13th. United didn't have a single forward in the top 20 for this crucial metric, and the only United player who ranked as highly was Bruno. Now, more importantly, these weren't just hopeful efforts. Mbeumo's passes led to 11 actual goals, ranking him 9th in the league. Cunha contributed 10 passes leading to goals, ranking him 14th. And United's best forward was Ahmad, with 7. And he spent half the season playing as wingback. Both players also ranked in the top 10 for expected assists, proving they consistently create high-quality opportunities. And I think one thing that's really exciting about Cunha and Mbeumo, I asked it on the live show one day this week. I said, which player do you think is going to have more of an impact? And it kind of depends on how you look at each player and which one's more important to you, because they are going to bring a varied amount of attacking, different styles of carrying the ball, of bringing it forward. And that variety, it really is going to be exciting to watch them both together, because their contrasting styles will help complement each other. Mbeumo's more of a constant vertical threat. He runs forward. He's very direct. He ranked 2nd in the league for progressive passes received, 58 more than Luis Diaz in 3rd place, and he's always an option to get in behind defences and stretch the game. Cunha operates a little bit differently. He ranked 6th among attackers for touches in the midfield third, collecting the ball deep and looking to drive forward. He had over 100 more midfield touches than Mbeumo, showing his preference for dropping into pockets of space. And when you look at attacking third touches, the roles reverse. Mbeumo ranks 2nd, with over 250 more touches than Cunha in the final third. It's clear from the numbers that they naturally occupy different spaces, but can interchange when needed. Kind of creates a bit of a nightmare for opposition defenders who won't know whether to drop deep or push up. But as much as I'm talking about how Cunha and Mbeumo can operate individually, differently, they're also going to operate as a partnership. Because really, it's going to be how they work together in those two number 10 roles for Ruben Amorim. And that's where I think you can definitely see and understand how a partnership might be formed. In transition, I think these two should be devastating together. Cunha is an exceptional ball carrier who can power through midfield and muscle past challenges, and Mbeumo makes those intelligent, penetrating runs that can split defences open. The combination should be cracking. And there's another dimension to consider too. Mbeumo attempted more crosses than any other Premier League player last season. Do you know that? With 202. He's particularly deadly cutting back onto his left foot and whipping balls into the far post. Guess who's going to be attacking those crosses? Cunha. He has the physicality and the timing to be a real threat crashing in at the far post. And one final thing I want to say about them is that when it comes to signing good players, the impact that they can have on other players, it kind of creates a bit of a domino effect. You get the leading by example. That's what leaders do. And I think that's something that Cunha and Mbeumo are both going to bring into this team. There's a tactical bonus that might not be immediately obvious as well, because Cunha's presence in that left-sided number 10 role should probably get the best out of Dorgu. Last season, Dorgu struggled to form any kind of understanding with Garnacho. The problem was simple. They were too similar. Both were primarily off-the-ball runners who wanted to get wide and drive into space, but Cunha changes that. He prefers to pick up the ball in deeper positions and drive into the half space, creating opportunities for Dorgu to make those overlapping runs that he won't ignore. And instead of two players occupying the same space, you'll have two players complementing each other. And as for Ahmad and Mbeumo on the right-hand side, well, that partnership right there, I think, actually deserves potentially a video itself. Now, Cunha and Mbeumo, you know they're Premier League proven. You know they've got the quality. You know they've got the goals. You know they've got the assists. And as I've just run through there, they've got everything else in between. And I can understand exactly why they were Amorim's top two choices for those two number 10 roles. So I hope you understand a bit more about what they're going to bring to the team. Maybe in another video, we'll cover exactly how that works from a tactical perspective. We'll take a look at the formation and how the players will move and interchange with each other. If you did like this, please do drop a like on the video. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Cunha and Mbeumo in the United shirt. Of course I am.